Welcome back, guys, to round two. This round is gonna be pretty sweet. We got a Rakdos mid-range deck by Nick. That says blue-red mid. That's not blue-red. That's red-black there, Steven.
It's almost there.
And then Brad is actually on blue-red. Blue-red creativity. Tell me how you feel about this match, Zach.
So this will be definitely an interesting one. Nick's got a ton of hand disruption, and we got a couple of like sweet early game beats. He does have a lot of removal though, which is going to be actually just dead in against Brad's deck. So Brad's going to be sitting on Fables, which are going to make some tokens, and he's got a bunch of counter spells, a bunch of removal spells, some impulses, just a lot of like disruption. He does he's running the version that is with the Xenagos and World Spine Worm to deal your opponent 30 damage. So that's what he's looking to do here. Brad looks like he's got pretty good grip here. I mean, he's got looks like I saw a mountain in there. He's got the oh my gosh, the volcanic spite here. He draw the World Spine Worm, so those volcanic spites are going to be pretty sweet just to kill your dude, put my World Spine Worm back into my library so that I can creativity into it. I also sent on Spikefield Hazard, a Mirex, and then a Make Disappear. And then he's just got that Fable there is to get that token. So as soon as he hits that creativity, then he's off to the races. Nick, see, we take a gander here. We've got, there's that Black Leaf that I was just going to say. I think he's got a Swamp, and I saw Fatal Push, I believe. He's got that sweet Yargle Fatal Push, too. We always love me some good old Yargle.
The Secret Lair.
Ooh, double Blood Tithe Harvester here.
Unfortunately, you don't get to see it because we're on camera, but he also has the Secret Lair Fatal Push playmat.
Ooh, cool.
The eyeball one. The Secret Lair Showdown
cool
one. Yeah.
Yeah, so Brad's going to draw that card and then put one back.
I feel like this match with these Blood Tithe Harvesters are a little not great. So the Blood token we're probably going to be using just for cycling cards, right? Just looting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's got enough additional removal spells where that if Brad is playing Fable, then he can just push it and get rid of it. Yeah, Brad's gonna land pass. Nick's gonna sack one of those blood tokens here, discarding that swamp that we knew that he had. He's got 2 Blightstep pathways, and looks like that was a Graveyard Trespasser I think he just drew. He's got a 3rd Blood Tithe Harvester in his hand.
Wow.
I know those don't do a whole lot in terms of killing your opponent's creatures, but they are 2-mana 3/2s, so they like to do a lot of damage. So looks like that's what he's going to be trying to do here, because Brad has done not a whole lot. So
Blood Type Harvester doesn't have ward discard a card like Graveyard Trespasser does, though. So when that Trespasser comes down, Brad's going to have to answer it and discard a card, and that if he misses a step is pretty brutal to deal with. There's another. That's the 3rd one.
That's the 3rd one, yeah. Yeah, 3rd Blood Tithe Harvester here. He's trying to get in some beats. Brad's just going to Impulse here. This is that creativity that he's looking for. Put that Xenagos right on the bottom. Luckily, there's no fetch lands in this format, so you don't really have to worry too much about shuffling your deck and shuffling that Xenagos back in your library with the opportunity of drawing it again.
Yeah, let's throw gas and Impulse puts it on the bottom.
Yeah, Brad's sitting on quite a grip here. So he got double Fable, he's got double Spikefield Hazard. He's going to play one of those Spikefield Hazards to land. Get it on that Fable, make a Fable token.
Fable, best red Magic card they printed in last year.
Yeah.
It's so good. Card is a terrorizer among all auto formats.
Just going to push it away.
We're going to crack that blood. Discarding Blightstep and drew a Haunted Ridge. I'm a little surprised that some of these Rakdos midrange decks aren't playing Children's Edict.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's flavor of the week in terms of removal spells. Like, oh, do I want to run pushes, or do I want to run any of the other 2-mana removal spells that aren't Doomblade in this format? And Thoughtseize is gonna be real good here. It's gonna peek in. Oh, look at that, a creativity. Well, don't mind if I do. I will take that all day.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. I know exactly what you're doing now, and I'm going to make sure I can do everything in my power to stop it. So probably going to take creativity here. Doesn't care too much about the other stuff. Turning on, letting Brad play his Fables and then turning on all of his removal spells was pretty good. And then Spikefield Hazard not killing anything in Nick's deck, I believe.
No. What it does do, though, it's very important when he plays Kroxa, he can tag it to have it exiled so that it doesn't come back.
Yes, but I think if he's playing Croakstar, he's probably just going to be dead at that point anyway. Just with all of the other stuff that he's been playing that doesn't die to Spikefield.
Oh, I just mean playing it for 2 mana to make him discard a card.
Yeah.
So tagging it, but I mean, this isn't relevant right now, but it could come up as relevant. Spikefield is a really weird Magic card, but I enjoy it. I played it a lot in a deck, and it always seemed to be fun to play.
Yeah, it's bad. It's always a land when you need a land too. Kind of sitting here, Nick's debating his option, thinking, what do I want to do here? It looks like he's sitting on another land and then that Graveyard Trespasser still. So, I mean, if Brad just kind of goes removal, then, you know, we've got more of a game here. But right now it's pretty one-sided. Nick's been drawing hotcakes here with that triple Bloodtooth Harvester just getting in. I mean, dealing Brad 12 already. So,
it's of note.
Pretty low.
It's of note that Nick has 4 Thoughtseize and 1 Duress main board. And the sideboard, he has 2 Go Blanks, which that could be really gross into just making Brad not be able to have cards in his hand.
Yeah.
While having, you know, these 3/2s and 3/3s coming at your face.
Yeah.
Does this Fable trigger, though? Is it going to help us?
Yeah, probably looking to get rid of Spikefield Hazard here.
Is that a Mirex? What is that?
It's a Mirex.
Yeah, that's pretty dope.
You discard Spikefield plus Impulse. Okay. Fire Impulse and a Creativity. Okay, Fire Impulse is going to be sweet here. He's going to pick off any of the creatures that he wants to see gone. But he's still facing down some other creatures too, so...
I mean, that's 9 damage on the board. That's lethal. We have to answer lethal.
Yeah. We play Fable here, make a token, turn on Nick's removal spells, even though he currently does not have any.
What are we hoping for if we get to block with this Shaman? We're going to block one of the Harvesters trade. What are we hoping to top deck?
Well, I think for Brad, he's looking to get a second token on the battlefield. I don't think he actually wants to block with the Goblin Shaman here.
We have to. It's lethal. Does he have removal spell?
He has removal. So he has a Fire Impulse. So he can Fire Impulse one of the creatures, go to 2, and if there's no answers, then Brad attacks, makes a token, creativities for 2, and then wins. Obviously, barring any interaction from Nick here, playing, you know, one of the most interactive decks in the format, red-black midrange.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're hoping for. Nick's just going to play it safe here. He's just going to kill the Shaman token. He's going to say, no, I don't even want to give you the option, and I won't have to think about it. So
I kind of don't hate that. That was pretty heads up.
Yeah. Yeah, so now Nick still's got a pretty tiny board here. It essentially ends up close to the same thing, but it doesn't give Brad the option. 4 mana, Sheldred. Oh, Sokenzin. Ooh, that's a good one here. Gonna channel Sokenzin, get some 2/1/1s with haste, and then gonna
putting Brad to 1.
No, he's gonna die here.
Oh, it's lethal.
Oh yeah, if he didn't have the Fire Impulse. I mean, Nick
Correct.
doesn't know that he has a Fire Impulse here, so he'll be able to Fire Impulse, kill. You can do that. Just gonna discard this.
I don't hate that. The Trespasser is pretty brutal.
3, and then Brad's just gotta hope to draw something good here.
We do have the Fable trigger. And the Fable flips. So we have a token.
Yeah, so there'll be 1 creature for that. So let's see. Draw. Another Fire Impulse. Okay. It's not quite doing it here, but definitely helps. Nick's just going to sandbag that land.
Right?
Yeah. It's like, might as well hold it. So Reflections, and then this Fable goes off. Do I want to keep this Impulse? Creativity is kind of important here. I mean, he can also just go for the, well, I mean, I guess he would kind of die regardless here. But
I like the play where you hold up the Impulse, or not the Fire Impulse, right? Because you could kill the Bloodtooth Harvester and essentially block one of the spirits. Yeah, I like this play. Because then now Nick can't sack that blood token to, you know, put him to 1.
Yeah. Let's see what he's
so now Nick needs a removal spell.
Okay, that doesn't do that here. So, I mean, because Brad will be able to make a 1/1 with Mirix at the end of turn, untap, and then do the thing. And he hasn't shuffled, so we know that both of those creativity targets are both going to be at the bottom of his library.
Which is lit, right?
Yeah, that's what you really want. He's going to pitch and draw here. He's going to draw a Sheldred. Sheldred's not going to do it here. Actually, Nick decides to do. Doesn't have a whole lot. Yeah, just going to jam Fable. Tap out. Brad's like, oh yeah, we in the money now.
Yeah.
Drawing that second creativity here was big game.
Yeah, we're following that Thoughtseize. It was super good.
Yeah, I am very disappointed that the players have not been playing their Chaz Tanner series tokens.
I know, and we didn't get any yet. We're gonna have to make sure we harass them for our tokens.
I know, right? It's like there's been multiple Fables played, and they've not been the Chaz Tanner tokens. Makes me so sad.
And they're embossed. They're super sweet looking.
Yeah, they're super awesome.
So that was
Block
expected.
here. Yeah.
Go to 2.
Go to 2. Make a 1/1. Brad, look at how excited Brad is. Look at him. Yeah, it doesn't even switch phases. Just yep, we're just gonna go straight for the creativity. Creativity for 2.
Ugh, disgusting.
GG's. We'll get rid of these.
All right.
All right. Now
all the way to the
look at
bottom of the
whole deck.
The whole deck.
Look at those. Look at all these magic cards. Oh,
I want to show off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a negate, Otawara, fire impulses, of course.
Let's show Nick my full 60.
Yeah. Look at everything. Get some big scores in there. You know, obviously we know his deck list, but Nick is probably excited to also get to see the deck.
Oh,
list.
I'm sure Nick is actually.
And the Xenagos. Look at that, back to back.
I'm sure Nick is actually sad that he just didn't topic Fatal Push.
Yeah. No. I will give my World Spine Worm +15/+15 in haste.
Welcome to the Shadow Realm.
30.
Welcome to the Shadow Realm.
All right, so that's going to wrap up game 1. Some sweet leveraging here from Brad, kind of deciding what to kill. It's sweet draw from Nick, though. Triple Blood Drive Harvester to sneak in a bunch of damage. Looking at sideboard options, looks like Brad's sitting on 1 Disdainful Stroke, 1 Negate, 1 Aether Gust, 2 Hullbreak Horrors, 2 Mystical Dispute, 2 Brotherhood's End, 3 Rending Volleys, and 3 Shark Typhoons. So, there's a couple options here. Brotherhood's End to kind of wipe away the board a little bit early. He's got Shark Typhoons. He wants to bring that with some extra draws. Gives him more threats at end of turn that costs a little less mana than Mirrex does, because Mirrex essentially costs 4, the land itself +3. And then Aether Gusts, so get rid of some of the red cards if he wants to bring that in.
Nick's board's a little interesting, right? We have these 2 Duresses that are probably coming in. But looking at the rest, like, are we bringing in any removal? Because he's got, like, a Rending Volley and 3 Extinction events. And a Hetsuga Consumes All. It's like, I don't know if Hetsuga Consume All is going to be fast enough. I mean, it does wipe the Fable token, right?
Yeah.
Not the Goblin Shaman.
Yes.
So, I mean, that could be important.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Brad also does have Secrets of the Key to investigate. And then he can also Mirrex to make tokens that way. So he's got a couple of other ways to... He does also play 2 Sokens in as well. So he does have a couple ways to make some other tokens besides instant speed tokens.
Do we like that route, though, with the Extinction event or the Rending Volleys?
I don't believe so. Because Rending Volley doesn't hit anything in Brad's deck. So that's, like, essentially useless. I mean, it's a better option than some of his main board removal spells that he may have. But, I mean, you have Fatal Pushes, which are perfectly serviceable against creativity, because it hits most of the things. It just doesn't hit the Secrets of the Key tokens, which, you know, you might want to put in that just in case Brad plays an early Secrets of the Key, and then you're like, oh, cool, I'll just play this Hitotsugu Consumes, I'll get rid of those, and then I just...
See, I was wondering about that, because, like, falling Ahsoka's in that could just be brutal.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at just those Duresses, which actually that's what it looks like Nick's got.
Mm-hmm.
He showing 2 cards on the table. It's probably just the 2 Duresses. I mean, Duress seems gas here, right? Take your Make Disappear, take your Creativity, take your Big Score, take your Fable. Like, that card seems real gas right here.
Probably want to put in Reckoner Bankbusters too, because this matchup is going to be pretty slow, and Nick probably wants a little bit of extra card advantage.
They're growing.
Yeah, he wants to get some extra stuff. But not a whole lot of options against creativity here. Fortunately, not playing white, so no Containment Priest or anything. So
it's just a little unfortunate for Nick that he missed that one step with how strong of a start he had.
Yeah.
Well, I guess in reality, slamming the TIE Harvesters like that wasn't that start. It was kind of mid-range start, right? It's okay.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be slamming a Shouldered, or you want to be having multiple Graveyard Trespassers.
Let's see. It looks like Brad took out some Spike Field Hazards, making a last-minute change here before he presents. Taking out, not playing Brother Shine, he's putting back in the Negate. But presuming Nick's going to put in some more Hand Disruption spells, so he wants the Negates over some board wipes here.
Negate's just a strong card. In this format in particular.
Yeah. Red does have Spell Pierces as well. Like, he was playing in the main, so those are going to be pretty fine here as well. Stop stuff early. I mean, it doesn't stop at turn 1 at this point, since Nick's going to be on the play here, but...
I mean, tagging a Fable with the Spell Pierce just feels good.
Yeah.
Like, if you your opponent taps down for a Fable and you're like, Spell Pierce, like, that feels...
Yeah.
You feel in the driver's seat.
Yeah. Presuming Nick brought in Go Blanks, it also hits Go Blanks on, like...
Just Go Blanks feel
good. But it's like, oof. Just kind of gives Brad a a ridiculous amount of counter spells just to deal with whatever Nick plays, because he does have Make Disappear as well to deal with the creatures, and then negates and spell pierces to deal with the non-creatures. So hopefully we get a peek see of what they sideboarded here. We got our players shuffling up for their game 2. We got a couple quick matches already here in this, in this series, so
you know, this is just what happens with sometimes the matches the way they're picked. It does give us a chance to walk and see the field, though.
yeah. All right, Brad looks like Double Fable, Steam Vents, Mirex, Impulse, Secrets, and then keeping that Worm Worm in hand. That's just always totally fine. You can always just discard it to Fable as well, and it shuffles back. So, Nick's sitting on a push, Fable, Blackleaf Cliffs. I believe I saw Sheldred in there as well. There's a Swamp, a Bone Crusher Giant. Oh, there's a Black Crypt, not a Blackleaf. It's all right. Drawing an Impulse, it's not bad here. Gonna shock take 2. Yeah. Oh, draws a Graveyard Trespasser. Oh, there's a Blackleaf. It's okay. Blackleaf was hand.
With the shoulder, man.
Take 2 damage for nothing. Ain't nothing. And a turn. Bone Crusher you. Brad's like, yeah, that's fine. Bone Crusher's gonna go on an adventure.
I love Bone Crusher. Love me some Bone Crusher. Card's so much fun.
Yeah, Nick's going to be on 3 here. He's got a lot of options at 3. He's got the Bone Crusher, which is just going to slam. He doesn't want to give Brad any extra info. He also had Trespasser, and he had Fable as options to cast here. Brad looking at some Impulse cards. Ooh, Creativity. It's what he wants. But it's like, do I take this early, or do I take another removal spell early, and then hopefully draw Creativity later? He does have quite a bit of deck manipulation, so... He's just going to take the Creativity, though. He wants to guarantee himself here, so... Draws a 3rd Fable.
Oh, jeez.
Because that's what you need, is more Fables.
I mean, 3rd Fable, that's pretty scary.
Yeah, so he's going to have a pretty big amount. It's kind of just making Nick have all the removal spells in the world. Which, he does have 2 Fatal Pushes, so that's going to be pretty decent here. Might snap one of those off here just to get rid of that Fable token, and then get rid of the next one as well. And then he's got to deal with a 3rd still, so...
I mean, having that token and 3 Fables is 3 forms of removal. Otherwise, that's just straight Creativity targets.
Yeah.
That's just absolutely brutal. Mm-hmm. And then you don't want the other actual Fable to flip to the backside, so there's another target.
Mm-hmm. Let's see what Nick wants to do here. He wants to... Oh, he's just going to pass. Draw... Fable to 2. Let's see. Probably discarding World Spine Worm because that's just free. And then I'm thinking he wants to keep Secrets of the Key here. He's going to discard the 3rd Fable. World Spine Worm's just going to shuffle back. Luckily, no surgical extraction in this format, so you don't have to worry about just getting your World Spine Worm sniped out of your graveyard in response to the shuffle trigger. Oh, that would be so bad.
That'd be gross.
You're like, I guess I have Xenagos and I'll Creativity and my Goblin Shaman token into a 4/4.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Discarding is 2.
What are we representing?
Talking about here? Talking about drawing 2 cards. Nick's thinking if he wants to do something in response to him drawing 2 cards, but he already discarded, so technically he doesn't have a point in time in which he can do that because this is still the ability resolving.
Yeah, I think Brad rushed the cycle trigger, or the shuffle trigger, because the shuffle trigger is supposed to be after he draws his card.
Yeah.
Oh, are we judge calling?
Yeah, I might need to slow down a little bit there.
No, I think that's what they're pausing for. They're waiting on the judge.
Yeah.
So that's fair. What Nick pointed out is actually relevant because you don't do the shuffle trigger. It goes on the stack, and then you resolve Fable to draw your cards. So technically, with Brad already shuffling, he's got his deck not in the order it was supposed to have been.
Yeah.
Brad doesn't play a lot of Pioneer, and it showed there a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, those triggered abilities are kind of getchas. People always kind of forget that the ability has to finish resolving before you resolve other abilities. So
yeah,
it's not an additional cost. So
being a Painter Servant enthusiast, we love seeing Emrakul with a Soulguide Lantern on the battlefield.
Oh yeah.
Get rid of your whole deck and exile it. Then you can shuffle nothing.
Yeah, classic Judge. All right, let me read this card real quick. I'm tired of seeing this thing. Notably, looks like their ears were burning, and they got to hear. Now we got that sweet Chaz Tanner Goblin Shaman token from the
Yes.
Rockets series. Last time he was last season's winner, so you get that sweet Goblin Shaman token. Look at that handsome face on the board
And the eyeball.
and the eyeball.
Yeah, those tokens when they got them embossed they're gorgeous. They look so sick in person.
Yeah,
They're definitely something to note.
yeah. You guys gotta come on down, get some, pick some up. They have them available. So if you play in the series, you end up getting some too. It's like, ooh, yeah, some free Goblin Shaman tokens. The normal ones are worth money, so this one's for free and better.
Yeah.
Because you can look at Chaz's face. It's great. Looks like they're just going to rewind here. Looks like the judge might be just pick out Warspine Worm, put it back, let's shuffle again, draw your cards, and then let's go back.
And give you a warning.
Yeah.
Don't be a bad boy no
Yeah.
more.
Learn how to play.
Poor Brad.
So we're going to shuffle up here.
Our boy in shambles.
Going back here.
Even though he's got one game under his belt.
Yeah. Arguably, this is something important to know, too, because
You could redraw the
this is
World Born.
better for Brad.
Yeah.
Because that means, yeah, he's not drawing Worldspine Worms. So. Okay, and then now we'll shuffle back in. There you go.
But notably, what Zach mentioned is important. You don't have a chance at drawing Worldspine Worm again. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We don't.
Yeah.
We don't want it in the hand. We want it in the deck.
Yeah. Yeah, a Worldspine Worm in the hand is not worth two in the bush.
Nope.
So
Like
he's going to go for
red.
red here. I mean, he does have quite a good amount of red cards. That does give him his triple red for his creativity now, which is going to be good. Yeah, just going to push before combat. I don't want to give you that second token. Yeah, kind of awkward right now because Fire Impulse does not kill Bone Crusher Giant. He doesn't have Spell Mastery to do so. He's maybe hoping for some kind of non-creature spell from Nick here so that he can negate it and then follow it up with a Fire Impulsing that Bone Crusher Giant away.
Let's look at Nick's hand though. He drew another land for turn, and we have that Shoulder.
Yeah, so he's got Sheldred. Unfortunately, the Fable's already kind of, done its thing, but he doesn't know that Brad's sitting on two more. I mean, Brad is also sitting on a Secret to the Key here, and Nick has 0 responses to that, so... I mean, Nick can jam... See what he's thinking. I think he's thinking Sheldred here.
I mean, Shoulder's a lot of pressure, right?
Yeah.
You draw, go to 6.
Maybe Fable. Yeah, it looks like he's going to opt for the Fable. I don't think playing Trespasser here is good. Yeah, Brad is probably stoked for this. He's going to negate, and then can follow it up with a Firing Impulse, and then Nick's got nothing. He's got his... Oh, he's just going to let it resolve? Okay. I mean, maybe Brad here is hoping... I'm just going to Seek It to the Key here, and then... No, he's just going to Mirrex. Alright. I mean, if he draws land here, then... Nope, that's a creativity. That ain't going to do it.
Yeah, but he's sitting on that negate, so it's not super bad yet. It could be, but it's not super bad yet.
Yeah. I mean, Brad also can just creativity for 1 here, and no matter what he hits, it's good.
Yeah.
Like
have
Xenago
the
sets
Fable
him
already
up for
flipped.
next turn. Yeah, Xenago sets him up for next turn since he's sitting on 2 creativities. But I think you kind of want to do the whole shebang. You want to do everything at once. You don't want to kind of mess around. I mean, because if you also just hit Worldspine Worm here, then that's also just like... The awkward thing is, though, is that he does not know that Nick is sitting on a second Fatal Push.
Or the Shoulder.
Yeah,
He's got to be careful getting his life low enough that he drops Shoulder and dies to the trigger.
See, Brad's got a lot of options here. I mean, Secret to the Key right now seems like the way to go. He's just going to pass turn here. He's still got a pretty decent amount of answers. He's got that negate still, and then he has the Fiery Impulse for the counter. I mean, really, he's just looking for another mana source here. Another land, or... I mean, could have played Fable and hopefully got another treasure token for it. So
you discard Blacklick Leaves and
Trespasser.
We draw a land.
Shadowblood Ridge in a swamp. So
Yikes.
not a great Fable here, but...
Yeah, Haunted Ridge could come down, but, like, it doesn't matter.
He's going to get rid of the Goblin Shaman token. Bash?
Bash the 4.
Bash 4, okay.
Brad is straight top deck mode, we're hoping.
Yeah.
That's what he's hoping for.
Yeah. I mean, the Reflections is a good thing to keep here, too, just because the Reflections token can't be... The Reflections of Kikijiki cannot be Fatal Pushed. So, that's maybe what he's hedging on here. Like, you guys going to Seek It to the Key at the end of turn. Gonna investigate. This is kind of the card you want in this matchup because they don't have instant speed in or answers. Unless they're playing a Braids. I don't believe we saw any of Braids in Nick's 75. So
he has one Braid main board.
one Braid main board. So that is an option, but
a little slow for this.
See if Brad draws his 5th land. He does not. He draws a big score. That's going to give him some more stuff. I mean, he can still...
Can't big score that with shoulder it.
Yeah, Bill's big score will kill him.
I feel
he's going to be at 2. I mean, kind of a rough spot for Brad here.
Yeah. That shoulder it's important because he can't even draw for the clue.
Yeah.
Looks like we're about to go to game 3. Yep.
We're going to go to game 3.
He needed a land.
The math. Can't quite get it. Yeah, it's just not drawing that 5th land there.
Yeah, that was brutal. He had 2 turns to draw it. He even set up the Mirix turn, which I thought was very, very important.
Yeah.
Like, that's that.
Yeah. I mean, there's also an argument for him just kind of aggressively casting his Fables and then just kind of sifting through to get exactly what he needs. Because he drew 3 Fables that game and played 1. And there's a reason why that card is played in almost every red deck, because it is a very powerful.
It's so
card.
good.
It's very strong.
Card
it does everything that
yeah.
Brad wants. It draws him extra cards.
It's a
It makes him tokens. It flips into something that can't be Fatal Push.
Makes
that you can
treasures.
still creativity. It makes treasures when it attacks. So it's just it's everything that Brad wants in his deck. So we're gonna switch around sideboards a little bit. That's some peekies. So is Nick here. That's taking out Shark Typhoons, putting back in running a Disdainful Stroke.
Put Spell Pierce back in?
I think he's taking Disdainful Stroke back out, though.
Yeah, he put Spell Pierce back in. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
Do we like Brother Suited in this matchup? I kind of think we do. It hits a lot of Nick's field.
Yeah, it hits, I believe, pretty much everything except for Sheldred.
Right?
So.
And we're in a flipped Trespasser.
Yeah, flip Trespasser. Yeah, but hopefully you're casting a spell every turn.
Yeah.
And if they're not casting any spells, then you're probably pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
So, got sideboards
It's
readjusted
Bone
here.
Crusher, man. That's important.
Yeah, Bone Crusher is big.
Well, then you take damage targeting it.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Big boy.
It's so good.
Yeah, Brett's thinking, oh, he's okay. So it looks like he's just gonna take out Brotherhood's End here. Maybe he doesn't feel like this is gonna be super important to him. And then a Shark Typhoon Disdainful Stroke, bringing back in Negates and Spike Fields.
Took out the negates.
He put 1 Negate back in, looks like. The classic, we're just shuffling all the time. Okay, he's going to put it back in both 2 Negates. I think that's probably correct. I think there's enough non-creature spells that you care about in next deck where you want to have Negate. Brotherhood's End is still pretty good. It can kind of just stop those really aggressive
Well, he's on the
starts.
play too, so I think he wants Spikefield just in case he needs to play a turn 1 tapped. Because you can set up your plays a little stronger that way. Because obviously he's tilted not getting that land. So he's like, do I take the the front side land out or not? Or the flip card land, I'm sorry, the back side out or not? They're shuffling up though. This is the longest one we've had today.
Yeah, right?
The other ones ended very quickly.
Yeah, we're already done at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what happens when you're playing a pseudo control deck and a mid-range deck, because, they're mid-range. All right, let's see. Man, Brad really loves drawing that World Spine Worm in his opening hand.
With no
He does have a pretty decent hand, though. He's got
lands?
Steam Vents, Mountain, Double Fable, World Spine Worm, Make Disappear. So he's got some stuff. He's just going to keep here.
Nick's hand's really good.
Yeah, he's going to have a Thoughtseize. It's going to be pretty
Thoughtseize, Fatal Push, Bone Crusher,
Ooh, he's
Double
on
Fable.
2 lands as well. Yeah, we're going to start off just with the tap land. Mountain Go. Both bears saying, oh no. Okay, so Nick's drawing his 3rd land.
That's
here.
really
Another
important
Blood
here.
Grip, so,
Really important here because he has Double Fable and a Fatal Push and Bone Crusher in hand.
yeah.
And a
He's got
Reckoner Bank
Bank
Buster.
Yeah, so he definitely brought those in. Just
Do we play the Bank Buster here or do we set up for the Bone Crusher? Because Brad's going to his turn 3. If we set up for Bone Crusher, Brad will play Fable and then we crush the token.
Yeah. I think you actually land in Thoughtseize here. Okay. I mean, if you want to go for Bank Buster, that's fine. I mean, I think Thoughtseizing here is also a really good option, just because presumably Brad will be on 3 mana next turn. He's not going to be, but presumably he was going to. And then getting Fable.
Oh, we're sending
and
it.
Stuff.
We're sending it. Here's Duress, right?
Oh,
Fatal
Duress
Push.
and Thoughtseize and Fatal Push. Just everything.
I would be sending the Duress for sure. just to poke around.
Yeah, I mean, Brad's sitting with a full grip, and knowing now that Nick knows exactly what Brad is on, he knows that Duress hits everything in Brad's deck.
I like Dress here first, right? Because you have 2 mana open. You can decide, do I want to follow it up with the Thoughtseize, the Bone Crusher, or even just tapping the Bank Buster to draw a card.
Yeah,
That's a gross.
yeah, lots of good options here. I mean,
Are you taking the big score or the Fables?
I'm probably taking Fable here, and then
Right.
I'm gonna try to Thoughtseize and take the other Fable. Brad has the option of making it disappear, but so it's essentially just making him discard to make disappear. But I mean, ideally you get 2 Fables. If you don't, then you get a Fable and a make disappear, which is perfectly okay. And then you already have the answer to the
So
Goblin Shaman
the
following
problem
turn.
with that is we still have that big score with double creativity in hand. But yes, we don't have 4 lands.
Yeah. Brad already misses land drop. It's going to
Yeah.
be 2 more. He has to draw land here to even play big score. And then if you're getting rid of Fables, you still need tokens to be able to
Yeah.
creativity away, because you can't big score and then creativity those tokens away.
The
Yeah, so
treasure.
he's going to take that.
You could do the treasure, but
But if you need to use the treasures for mana, then
Yeah.
they're not there for you to creativity. So maybe Nick's just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna let you draw 1 more card here. Yeah.
yeah, I don't mind this because now here comes
There
that
we
Fable
go.
token, and we're gonna Bone Crusher it.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Mm.
And then we can play our 4th land and go Crusher with
Yeah.
Thoughtseize or Push.
Yeah. I mean, the awkward thing here too is that like keeping Bone Crusher for the flipped Fable is sometimes good, just because since you can't push it, the only other option is for currently what Nick has in his main board, presumably, is only Bone Crusher Giant kills a flip Fable. Since Fable Push doesn't kill it, since it's CMC is 3, Bone Crushing that and
the
then
braid.
pushing that. There's also, but that's a 1-up.
And
so.
go for the throat.
Yeah. So, but I mean, like, what you have currently available to you, those are the good options here. So,
I
hopefully
really don't
Brad
like
can draw
these.
those
I really don't like the Hive the Eye Tyrant here. That's a brutal draw this late,
Yeah.
because now you have to decide, do I cast Thoughtseize knowing he has creativity already in hand? 2 of them. Right? Because we're gonna get a loot. And we're gonna cast the other Fable.
Yeah. Like, Land Sheltered Her would have been amazing.
Oh, it would have been really
Oh,
gross.
man. It's like, go ahead, you can activate your Fable. I don't mind.
It'd been really gross.
Yeah. Yeah, any untapped land here would have been better. I mean, I don't think he's expecting a creature coming out of Brad's side of the board next turn for him to Fatal Push. I mean, obviously he doesn't know that Brad has that second Fable if Brad does opt to cast it next turn. I mean, as we saw last time, Brad discarded Fable. Oh, no, sorry. The other Fable got taken. I apologize. But Nick's got a lot of options. A lot of 3-drops. So, 2 3-drops, 2 1-drops. Yeah, it's going to slam Fable here.
So I think we're slamming Fable here because we need to dig for some answers.
Yeah.
Like another Thoughtseize effect would be very backbreaking here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're going to get some...
Oh, Sokasin. Ugh.
Yeah. All right, let's do this correctly. There you go. There you go. Learning magic. Now we shuffle back. Okay. So now this is going to be some interesting game here. So Brad did draw another Mirrex. So he can do that. He can play land, take damage, so Ken's an end of turn, and then untap and creativity if he draws his land.
Yeah, and I had a bunch of creativity targets.
Yeah.
I really like the big score here too, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Big Sore is also definitely good.
Nick drew a Sokasin for turn. Probably discarding the Hive of the Eye Tyrant and what else? We don't discard Thoughtseize, probably. Do we
Maybe
want
the
the other
second Fable?
Fable? Yeah.
I
I'm
don't
kind of
think-
not digging it either.
I don't think he has enough time to get that Fable advantage. Yeah, Hive of the Iron Tyrant is definitely going. He's debating Thoughtseize and Fable here.
Do we not care about the Thoughtseize now because of double creativity already known in hand? Or do we feel like we should and then maybe get one of the tokens with a Fatal Push? That's a tough call.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's a
I
tough
mean,
spot.
I think Fable's probably correct here because he doesn't have the time. I mean, him knowing that Brad's hand is double creativity plus big score. So he's just gonna discard just Silkhands in. Just do one. You're on another land. Okay. A little awkward here. I mean, he can play every card in his hand now, which is nice. He can play that Blightstep Pathway, play the Fable, and then Thoughtseize him, and then still leave open Fatal Push.
To push the token.
Yeah.
Or tokens.
Tokens.
Whatever you're picking at.
Yeah.
Right? Because if Brad opts to not cast Big Score here and opts to cast Channel Sogazin,
Yeah.
he still has a token on the battlefield following the push. So it's like you can't immediately push.
Yeah.
You want to wait until they at least attempt to cast Creativity.
Yeah. I mean, if he big scores here, then
Kind of
he's kind of got it. I mean, you know, because he'll be able to hopefully draw land from that. So now it's kind of put into Brandon's spot. Yeah, it looks like he's going to respond with big score. Yeah, this is exactly what we're going to do. Respond with big score. Discard my 1, draw my 2, make my treasure token, because he, you know, can't push the fatal token. Yeah, he has the fable token.
And we drew the lands.
Yeah, drew the lands.
drew,
I mean, he had the tokens and he could have just played for turn.
We had the blue-red pathway and I think a mountain.
Yeah. Stevens.
Stevens.
Yeah, you can take one of my creativity.
Writing on the wall.
Yeah, and this is awkward because I can't fatal push any of your creativity targets. Now, this probably the point is, does Nick just want to make him sweat? Listen. Oh, there we go. And then the handshake.
We were trying to hit the Abrade.
Yeah.
We were going for the Abrade.
Yeah.
Dang, look at Brad coming out after that start.
Yeah.
He was.
Look how excited he is.
Well, that was a lot more interactive than our other 2 rounds,
Yeah.
which is nice. What are your thoughts on the creativity deck though?
Creativity, sweet. I mean, this version, you know, we see this deck a lot in Modern, but theirs is going to be a little bit more go wide, playing Archon of Cruelties, but since we don't have that option, they go for more combo-centric version with World Spine Worm and Xenagos. So, I mean, 30-30 trample is kind of difficult to
Deal with.
and even if they kill it, then you still just make 3 5/5s with trample. So, like, it's got still fine backup plans. And Xenagos just hangs out. It's just kind of chilling. Brett's kind of going over the deck, probably just going over their thoughts here. Nick is just like, man, this deck sucks.
I mean, Nick just had bad beats game 1.
Yeah.
Getting him that low, not drawing a removal spell, just feels pretty rough.
Yeah, it's kind of petered out there, which sometimes happens. So.
Well, that's gonna wrap us up for round 3.
Yeah.
Man, this is going by fast. So we'll see you guys back for the next round. Thank you.
We'll see you then.